Hey everyone. Hey, we are live. This is Anna Runyan. I help women get their careers unstuck so they never dread Monday again. If you are listening and you're here with me, please say hello so we know that this is all working. I am super excited for today's content. We are going to dive right in. Thank you so much for joining me. I know you guys are all extremely busy. There's a lot of stuff happening right now. So I really appreciate you carving out the time, joining me here. Grab a hot drink or your favorite drink or whatever you want to grab. And let's pretend we're like at a coffee shop having coffee together here. And we're just going to have a little chat about your career. And what we're going to cover today is we're going to talk about the number one mistake that people make when it comes to launching their dream career or business. I'm seeing this mistake made a lot right now, especially in my Facebook group. So I felt like it was really important for me to jump on live and to talk to you about it because I don't want you guys making the mistakes that I made. I want it to be a lot easier for you to launch your dream career or business. We're also going to be talking about how you can find secure and steady career right now, the best way to do it, why you should stop updating your resume and working on your business website. I know that seems a little counterintuitive, but we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about what you can do to make more time to start a business you love or to find your ideal career. Because I know time is something that we're all trying to make more of right now. So I'm going to tell you how I make more time, how you can free up 5 to 10 hours in your week so that you can focus on your dream career. So, like I said, say hello so I know that this is working and that we're all here. It looks like you guys are starting to join, so that's awesome. Let's talk first about your career. Let's just have a little coffee chat about what's going on, what you're experiencing right now. I'll share with you some of the things I'm seeing you guys are experiencing in our Facebook group. I'm seeing from those of you who are trying to start businesses, I'm hearing I can't get any sales, no one is buying. For those of you who are changing your career, you're looking for a job, I'm hearing no one is hiring. I'm hearing that you're, just not really sure where to start. I know that was something I was struggling with in the beginning when I was trying to make a career change. Is like I didn't have a plan, I didn't know what I was supposed to do, and I had no idea how to make my dream happen. Um, I know when I was making a career change, I was dreading Mondays because I was terribly stuck at my day job and I was not very happy in the work that I was doing. I was not excited to go to work. And so I was dreading Mondays. I had a lot of anxiety on Sunday nights. I had trouble sleeping because I just was worried about the alarm going off in the morning and I just did not want to wake up and go to work. I was feeling really just kind of lost. Like I didn't have a purpose or a reason to go to work, to wake up, to do anything because of this career that I was in had no meaning in it. It had no purpose in it. And so I just felt lost. There was a lot of times where I just felt like I was working for a paycheck. That was the only reason I went to work is for a paycheck. Anyone feel that way? And also a lot of times too, when you're stuck, working for that paycheck, you also are kind of just pushing out your retirement dreams possibly as well, because or any future dream that you have. Maybe it's a vacation, maybe it's buying a house. You're just kind of doing the work going in and you're just saying, maybe next year will be that year. Maybe next year will be that year. And you're just really struggling staying motivated. That's something I'm seeing a lot of. What I was facing as well was just being so busy. Like I was working a day job and I was going to business school at night when I was trying to change my career. And so I was super busy. I had very, very limited time. And so I was struggling with how do I find the time to make my dream career happen? So if time is something that you're struggling with, we're going to talk about that today. Just write time in the chat. So I know that that's something you're struggling with. And if it's something else, let me know in the chat as well. Maybe it's issues with your boss. I think at some point we just had a podcast go out this week too about having issues at work, and what we were talking about is that trouble with your boss almost everyone at some point in their career has some sort of issue with their boss. And so that could be a reason why you want a career change as well. I know for me, I wanted a career change because I had very little time for my friends and family or for any sort of social life because I was just overworking myself and stressed out. Like I didn't have time for my family. So for me, I knew at that time that I wanted to have a family someday. And so I knew that my career was not going to have any time for me to be a mom someday because I was just like working so long hours and I was traveling during the week for work. And so I just didn't know how I was going to make that career happen if I wanted to be a mom someday. So that was one of the big reasons, one of the things I was struggling with. And as well as just like being scared of what other people are going to think if you make this career change, if you make this leap. It's scary, right? To like fear of what other people are going to think of you now that you're like going down this new path and you're doing something different and you're becoming more of who you were meant to be. You're finding that career that you were born to do that just becomes so much more natural to you, but to other people it's like, "Whoa, what is she doing?" Like she's going live on Facebook. What's going on with Anna? So all that stuff, there's a lot of things going on. So the first thing that I want to cover with you today is I want to cover the best way to find a secure and steady career or business right now. So like I said, if you're dealing with if you're dealing with a lot of frustrations in your work, I want you to know that there is a way that we can find something secure and steady for you. So, the one thing that I want to go over today is I want to teach you that best way to find a secure and steady job right now. And what it comes down to is that anyone right now, no matter your industry, no matter how much time you have, no matter if you think this is a tough market to find a new job, the way that you find a new career right now is something that I call the problem pivot. So, the problem pivot is when you identify a problem that you can solve. And that is how you can find a new career because you can demonstrate to whether if you're job searching, if you're in an interview, if you're doing your resume, or if you're networking, you can demonstrate that you know how to solve the problem. And this is how you can make a big pivot in your career right now. Same thing if you're starting a business. If you're focusing on the problem that you can solve and you create a product or a service around solving that problem, your clients are going to be like, yes, I need that. Please help me solve the problem. Hiring managers, if you're job searching, are going to be like, yes, we need you. You're hired because we need help solving that problem. Two of my students have done this exact same thing. So, Michelle, I interviewed her last week, and it was so fun to hear her story because with the pandemic, it completely changed her. She was going to start an event planning business, and everything just completely changed with the pandemic. So, she had to do what I call a problem pivot, right? She had to figure out what the new problem was that she could solve so that she could get her client and get that business off the ground. And so she carefully analyzed like what is the problem? How can I pivot my career right now so that I can still grow my dream business? And what did she do? She found a client who needed a wedding planner. Right now, people still need to get married, right? People still have a problem of like we want to get married. How am I going to get married right now? It's different. It's weird right now. How do I plan a wedding? There's still a problem that Michelle can help this bride and groom solve, right? Still a problem out there. So staying focused on that problem. Same thing with Diane. Diane is another one of my students in the production. She was in the production industry. COVID completely shut her industry down, but she looked at her experiences that she had in that industry. She looked at all that prior experience that she had, and she figured out how she could use her prior skills and experiences and how she could turn that into a new career. So she completely changed industries using her skills and experiences that she had to solve people's problems of organizing their homes, because we're all home right now, right? Like I know my home needs a major organization help, right? And a lot of people do because we're all stuck at home, right? We're spending more time than ever. So she was able to pivot her career based off the problem that she knew how to solve. So, this is exactly what I call the problem pivot. We all have to make some sort of pivots right now. There are new problems because of the pandemic. So, let's talk about companies. Companies are hiring people who can help them solve problems. When there's a big change, like this pandemic has been a huge change for all of us. Opportunity also accompanies it. So companies are hiring right now. There are existing roles that companies are hiring for, but there's also new roles that are in demand. Some jobs were lost, some jobs were gained. So don't just rule out this is a bad job market. I'm not even going to try to change my career. Companies are hiring. Candidates, as a candidate, if you're job searching, you have to be motivated to improve your skills, to learn, to be adaptable, to do this problem pivot. And as the working world evolves, so can you, because good talent is always in demand. So the other thing that's booming is remote work. Anyone like want a job that's you can do remotely? That's here to stay, and that may help you have a more balanced work life. And also, companies are focused on those transferable skills. So, like I gave with Diane's example, she figured out what those transferable skills were that she could use as she transitioned into her new career. Virtual learning businesses and online businesses are booming. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, this is a great time to do it because, with more people who are at home, there's been this whole last year, there's been a boom in online learning and people learning new things, especially our kids, right? Like our kids have been home. They're learning from other teachers on Zoom. And so, if you like to teach kids, us moms need you. And because what we're doing is we're thinking about that problem. I'm a mom. I have a 6-year-old. She's in first grade, and I've been using this great company called OutSchool, and they have these great classes that I can take. They're very affordable, or that my daughter can take about things that she loves. So she's taking like a fashion design class, a fashion design sketching class once a week. And so that was a problem I had, right? Like I needed help teaching her and keeping her occupied and helping her explore her passions. And so that online school for kids has just exploded this year because they found that problem that people had. So certain industries and companies are exploding with growth. Your job is to find that problem that those companies are having right now and then pivot your resume, your cover letter when you're doing network. You can do networking through Zoom right now. You want to show them that you know how to fix the problem that they're having right now. What problems are you passionate about solving? No matter what career you are searching for, or if you're thinking of starting a business, it really all starts with your why and why you're passionate about solving that problem and why you're passionate about helping a company or why you're passionate about helping your clients and your customers. So that's what creates purpose and meaning in your career. I know that's what I wanted in my career. I wanted purpose, impact, meaning. And so that is what you do. So figuring out what your dream career or business is comes back to what problems can you solve? What are those problems that are associated with that career right now? What are those managers facing, that those people that are going to be doing the hiring? What problems do they have? We want to speak to their language. Because it's not about you. When you walk into the interview, we always get worried and scared, right? Like, what are they going to think of me? But instead, we need to think in their mindset, who they're looking for and what problems do they have? How can we show them that we know how to solve those problems? Same thing if you're on like a sales call with a potential client. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's helping that person transform their life to create those products and services that can help them solve the problem. So the problem pivot is really the best way that you can find steady and consistent income right now. Thinking about what problems you can solve. Most likely your competition is not thinking about this. So instead of like saying, I need a job or I want to start a business, your mindset should really shift to helping and serving. You're getting into that mindset of a hiring manager or your potential client. And this will help you create a career you love, that you're happy at, where time flies by. Can you imagine a career where you get to help people and make an impact all day long? This is how you'll also be more successful, because you're focusing on solving people's problems. It's going to give you that meaning, that purpose in your career. It's going to make you proud of the work you do. You'll have more job offers and more clients saying yes when you focus on this problem pivot. And you're going to work for the best companies out there, because the best companies are focused on serving as well. And they're going to be able to give you that independence that you want to. So, the second thing that I want to share with you, first of all, let me know what you guys thought of the problem pivot and what problems you want to solve in your career or business. The second thing I want to share with you is why you need to stop updating your resume if you're job searching, or working on your business website if you're starting a business. So, this is one thing I see all the time in my Facebook group. I know it's kind of counterintuitive. Like, when you want a new job, you think, I got to update my resume. Or if you want to start a business, you're like, I got to create a business website. And let's talk about if you're job searching. If you're job searching, you might think you should be looking at job listings and online, or submitting applications, or networking, or updating your resume. I say no, don't do any of that. That's not your first step. If you're starting a business, you might think you should create a website, create your social media pages, create your Facebook ads, and start posting on social media. No, don't do that first. These are not the first steps to launch your dream career business, and doing this work is the number one mistake that people make when launching their dream career business. This is the whole topic today that I was going to teach you about. The number one mistake people make is wasting time doing tasks that are not going to help you create your ideal career business. So we can job search all day long and we can create a website and work on it from, like, some people work on their website for months and months before they ever get a client. But the first thing that you should do, because you'll be more successful when you do it, is finding and identifying what the ideal career fit is for you first. This is the ideal career that you were born to do, the thing that you can do for years and years and years, and you do it and time flies by. You are more successful, you get more job offers, you get more opportunities just in your lap. You get more clients because you were made for that career. If you don't find your ideal career first, you can waste a lot of time submitting applications. No one likes submitting applications. I remember just being so frustrating submitting application after application and looking for all these job search sites. So you can waste a lot of time submitting applications, not hearing anything back. You can also waste a lot of time networking, and going to events, or doing virtual networking these days, or updating your resume. How many hours have you spent updating your resume? I know I used to spend so many hours updating that resume, or reading about how to update my resume. But I didn't even know what career I wanted, but I was still spending so much time updating my resume. That's the mistake, guys. If you're starting a business, you might be spending, like I said, months. I see people spend months and months trying to figure out how to create their website. I see people posting on social media and even doing Facebook ads. And then a year from now, they're like, wait, I don't think that's the right career I want. I think I'm just going to quit that. I'm going to do something else. That's not for me. Or you see really burnt out entrepreneurs who are kind of dreading their work even. They don't like their businesses even more, even though they started business because they thought they could do work they love, and then they hate their business like a year later. They quit their business a year later. And same with your job. If you don't first identify what that ideal career is for you might get into that job and it's actually not what you wanted and not making you happy, and you're still stuck again. And then you have to, a year later, repeat that entire job search cycle again. So that's why it's not just about finding a job. It's finding the ideal career for you, or not just starting a business, but it's starting that ideal business for you. That's what we're talking about here and what makes us so different at Classy Career Girl. We don't want you to get stuck again. Our whole mission is to help you get your career unstuck and never dread Monday again, which means we don't want you to find a career where a year later you're going to hate. So job searchers, you're going to want to identify what your ideal career is first. And then it's going to make creating a resume so much easier. That's part of it too, is creating a resume can be tough. It can be hard, especially if you aren't targeting a certain job that you really want. So all this stuff gets so much easier. Like resumes get so much easier, interviews get so much easier. Networking, I'm an introvert, so networking is not the highlight of my life, most fun thing to do. But I will tell you, once I figured out what my ideal career path was, networking became so much easier. I actually started doing a lot of informational interviews, and I started introducing myself, and it just became like so much more natural, rather than like I was forcing myself to try and talk to people and, make connections and try and get referrals. But once I figured out what that ideal career was and what I was really looking for, what I was really passionate about, it just got so much easier to talk to people and to get opportunities and to get referrals as well, when I figured out what my ideal career was first. So when you're networking, you're going to know exactly how to introduce yourself. You're going to know what to say so others remember you. And other people are going to be able to refer you because they know that you're a great fit, because you're super clear what you want. No one can help you if they don't know what you want. So your passion is going to shine through in everything that you do in your job search. You're going to apply to less jobs, but you're going to get better results when you first uncover what your ideal career is first. And same with business. If you've ever looked at your phone and been like, oh, what should I post on Instagram today? I need to start my business, but I don't know what to post. And so you just don't post anything because you don't know what to say. Usually that's because you haven't found that ideal career fit. You haven't found that ideal entrepreneurship business fit for you yet. Maybe you're trying to start a business like someone else has. Maybe you're trying to start a business for money, or just to start, to get it started. Maybe you want to impress someone else. I don't know. But if you haven't gone back to the basics to really identify first what that ideal business is for you, then when you keep on moving through the process of your business, and when you start creating your business plan and your social media plan, and we start putting together all those plans, it's so much easier to know what your brand is about, what you want to say, what you want to post about. It's way more natural because now you're in a business that truly fits you. Okay, so let's dive in now to the last thing that I want to share with you today. More time. What you can do to make more time to start a business, or to make more time to find your ideal career. Because you've been listening here today. You're probably like, this all sounds great, Anna, but I don't have any time. So let's talk about that. Because I know this was really difficult for me, to find the time to make my career change as well. I was working full time during the day, I was going to business school at night, and I knew I needed a change. I knew I needed to make a change. I dreaded going to work. Something had to change. So the reason you're experiencing frustration with your career change is possibly because you haven't figured out your ideal career path. And that's often what makes us scared and fearful and lose clarity and confidence, because we don't know what our ideal career is. And who wants to put themselves out there when they aren't confident in what they're doing, right? Another reason could be that you're getting results in your career change. You're not getting results in your career changes because of time. So if you're struggling to find the time to make a career change, like I said, please post time in the comments of the chat if that's a challenge for you. So I know what your challenges are as you go about creating this career change. But this was a really big one for me, because you're so busy putting other people's needs before you that you have little time for your own goals and your own dreams. I know as a mom, this is a big one for me. I will like, oh, what do you need? You need food? Okay. You need this, you need that. Okay, I'll get you taken care of. But then I leave like very little time for myself and my goals and my dreams. That's a common thing that happens, as well as putting like your boss's goals and dreams before your own, like waking up, going to work, working on your boss's goals and your company's goals and the CEO of your company's goals. And then you get home and you're exhausted, you have dinner, maybe you watch some TV, and then all of a sudden it's like 8 o'clock at night. And now you're supposed to work on your own goals and you're completely exhausted. Like how would you ever do that? So, in that example, you're putting your boss's goals before your goals, right? So, the reasons that you are struggling with time is that you need the right steps and a proven plan so you aren't wasting time on things that aren't going to get you results. You actually don't need a lot of time to change your career. So, this is a huge light bulb for you. If you don't think you have enough time, you only need 15 minutes per day or 1 hour per week. So if you like to do a little bit every day, you can just do, 15 minutes a day, or you can block out and like 1 hour per week is all you need to launch your dream career business. It's really not how much time you have, it's what you do with that time. Are you doing the right tasks that are going to get you results? Or are you applying to 100 jobs online and waiting for a call back? Crickets, right? Because that's not the right task that you should be doing. One of the things that you can do to make more time, so that you can launch your dream career business, is to do a time audit. So I'm not kidding you when I tell you that when I do these time audits, I can sometimes like free up 5 to 10 hours of wasted time in my schedule. I know when I did this in the beginning of January, I definitely found 10 hours a week of time that I was just flat out wasting. And so I do this every year. I probably need to do this again because life just keeps changing so much lately. But what you're gonna do is I usually do this for 2 days. But if you can do it for more, that's great. So for 2 days, I want you to track every single thing that you do. Write it down. A tool that I love is called Toggle, TOGGL.com. That's the one I use if you want to like track all this digitally, or you can just write it down. So, like, say if you're doing a task, maybe every few hours, just going back and said, okay, for 1 hour, I did this task. For 15 minutes, I did this task, and just keeping track of everything that you do. And then looking back at that and looking back on where you might be wasting time. I know that this was really easy for me to figure out where I was wasting too much time. For me, it was Instagram. I was just scrolling on Instagram because you actually have to write that down of like, okay, for 15 minutes, I just sat there looking at Instagram and I'm like, oh, I need to cut that we need to cut that wasted time out, right? Because like I said, you can launch your dream career business in 15 minutes a day. If I'm spending 15 minutes a day scrolling on Instagram, that's wasted time that I could devote instead to launching my dream career business. Like, aha, I just found 15 minutes that I can use to work on my own goals. So, there's a lot of times as well that you might see that you're getting distracted. Like maybe you see that you need to put some time blocks together so that you can really focus. For me, I always realize like systems need to be in place. Or I need to talk with someone in my family about putting some boundaries in place or things that I need help with. So there are also things you can delegate as well. So when I do this, I always see, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. Like I can delegate this. So looking at all those activities that you're doing over those 2 days, figuring out if there's things you can delegate, ask for help with, if there's systems that you can create in your business. So that's one thing that we've set up is a lot of like systems. So I'm not always feeling like I'm last minute, delaying things, but there's actually systems in place. Or you can delete things like Instagram scrolling time, right? Delete. That's like that's wasted time that I can free up to use on my priorities and more productive things. So that way you can free up 5 to 10 hours of time that you can work on your goals for your starting point for the week. So That is what I have for you today. I hope that this has been helpful. I would love to invite you over to my Facebook group, the Classy Career Girl Network, where we're going to be continuing this conversation. So if you have any conversation that you want to talk about, if anything kind of came up, please post in the Classy Career Girl Network. You can go to classycareergirl.com/love your work, and you can find the link to that Facebook group. Let me see your comments here. Hi, Katie. She says, I'm the director of events at a brewery. I need this advice right now. Awesome, Katie. Super excited that you're here. Elena says, I would love to help people feel more comfortable using my pillow quilts and handmade bags made of unique, soft, and beautiful fabrics. But this is only one pillar of my business plan. The core issue is that I would love to help people feel comfortable with their home by giving them ways to declutter. I love, Elena, that you're doing the problem pivot here. You're looking at the problems that people are having for your business plan. This is so important. Giving them ways to declutter, organize their storage spaces, and styling advice to help them have their dream sacred space to live in. I love it. It sounds like you've done a lot of work already, Elena. I love it. Yeah, this is definitely going back to figuring out how you can serve best. And once you figure that out, you can really make your ideal career happen is when you learn how to use all your skills, your experiences, everything that you do, and learn how to serve other people. That's the best way. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm super excited. We're going to do more of these lives. And so come join me in the Classy Career Girl Network. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you want to continue the conversation, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay. Have a good night.